Janmanyasya yatvanayat itaratascha swavidyasvara tene brahmadi adikavihi muyanti yat surayaha tejovadi midam yatavini mayo yatra tisargumirshaha damnasvena sadanirashta kukam satyam param dhimahi Tulasyam Vita Janmasi Shadatvam Keshavapya Keshavartam Chinomi Tvam Varada Bhavashvane. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. The element of transcendental instructions in our life, connecting us with the teachings of the great acharyas and the great devotees, is a very purifying process. That's why we read the books every day. Now we'll read one book to you, one little verse to you, which is very essential, even though it's very difficult to understand. Yeme bhaktya jana parta name bhaktas chatti jana mad bhaktanam chayi bhaktas tene bhaktatamumata. Yeme bhakta jana parta name bhaktas chatti jana mad bhaktanam chayi bhaktas tene bhaktatamumata. It's then Adi Purana. The Krishna says, my servant of my servants is my real devotee. Ye me bhakta jana parta na me bhaktas chate jana mad bhaktanam chaye bhaktas te me bhakta tamo mata. Sri Krishna told Arjuna, those who consider themselves my direct devotees are actually not my devotees, but those who see themselves as the devotees of my associates are factually my devotees. That is my opinion. This is an amazing declaration of Krishna. If you want to be Krishna's devotee, you cannot be Krishna's devotee. You must be a devotee of Krishna, or the devotees of Krishna. Like when I want to serve my spiritual master, I cannot serve my spiritual master. The same principle applies. He will say, my devotee is not my devotee. The real devotee is the devotee of the devotee. In other words, it means that I am aspiring to be your devotee. Your means your. It's not an easy thing to be a devotee's devotee. But let's analyze it a little bit. What does it mean? Well, if you're a temple president, let's study that. You lose your privacy. You belong to all the devotees in the temple. If they are happy, you're also good. If they are sad, what happened, Prabhu? Why are you sad? In this way, you carry. Prabhupada said that the president of temple president job is for life, for whole life. And then he also said you should not only think that the devotees in your temple under your charge, you should think that the whole city where the temple is, all the people under your charge, to make sure they get Krishna. In other words, the devotee is a devotee of everyone because everyone is a potential devotee. So his relationship with everybody is, how can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you? And if anybody says, I'm losing my faith, I'm not happy, then it's very sad. Then what can I do to give you faith? What can I show? How can I make you trust? And now, as devotees, we are also part of a larger family. So we are the devotees of the devotees. Like Prabhupada was the servant of his disciples. He proved that. He was always ready. He wrote so many letters, or so many attempts, do this, do that, giving so many good instructions. Amazing, impeccable. Really, what Prabhupada did was unbelievable. So now I'm trying to serve Prabhupada, and I'm not very capable. This is too much. He's a pure devotee, and he's already with Krishna. So what am I going to do for him? So I can only serve the people he sent to me, or who he is allowing me to meet. And those who are doing that, who are serving Krishna, they are so amazing. They're so amazing. They are connected with him. They're Krishna's pure devotees. Those who dedicate their energy to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are surely protected and rewarded as well. But at the same time, sometimes we find mistakes with other devotees. We lose our enthusiasm, or maybe there's in the relationship amongst the devotees sometimes a little bit harshness, indifference can be found. And you say, wow, I don't like that. I don't like that. No, this is not. But as the mission is growing and there's many devotees, like different atmospheres, a temple with 7, 8 devotees, and a temple with 50 devotees, 100 devotees. So another rhythm is there, no? And the relationships are also becoming different, no? So the same thing when the spiritual master like Gokishada Babaji Maharaj, he had one disciple, Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. Well, he gave him everything he needed to do his service, but then when you have a guru, and it's very hard to talk to him, because he's so busy, you can hardly get an audience unless you cry. That's why they say, if you don't cry, nothing to eat. In this way, sometimes you have to cry to get a little attention. And some cry more than others. They get more attention than others, and then that becomes a problem. Hey, life is a struggle. That's for sure. But the fact of this verse is so important. You're not the devotee of Prabhupada if you're not the devotee of the devotees. And the devotee, let's go down, to be the devotee of the devotee of Prabhupada means to be a devotee of those you're preaching to, you're helping, you're associating with. So in other words, if our devotional attitude, our devotional relationship is always the most intense, there where we situate our attention, then it goes directly to Krishna. This is a very beautiful process if you really think about it, no? Like you want to serve Krishna, what you want to do? Jump, dance? Want to give him a temple? Nice. Krishna don't need any temple, he's in the spiritual world, but here, there's people that need temples. Here we need to have sadhana. Here we have to do so many things. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Yes. A big job, Krishna consciousness. A big job. And the unsurmountable ocean of nations, it says. Insurmountable, like an ocean of nations which is impossible to cross. That's what we are surrounded by. That's what we are swimming in. Oh, in unsurmountable ocean of nations. And then materialism means you try to cross this ocean by holding on to the tail of a dog. Can you please take me out of the ocean of nations? The little dog is going, I don't know where I'm going. So it's a service quality. It's really the service quality, and the service quality of the people who surround us. It's a fact, and it's difficult because sometimes people really, they want to be good servants of the Guru, but the other people they neglect. Like the other people are not so important for them. But it's not true. It's the other people who are important. And how important? That depends on their degree of availability also. Like how important is a new devotee or a new bhakta? Well, that he's part of the family, that he wants to be part, or why he wants to be part, because you treat him well, you make him feel part of the family. That's why. If you feel, the family is very vast. We need this family. We need that family because it's the family which is the tomorrow. If I treat you so nice that you want to treat others so nice in the same spirit, then it's a real family. And then the others may become devotees. Like, let's say I have 100 disciples and they all get frustrated with what I'm doing and finally they stop preaching. Then my service has become useless. Parampara means it goes down, generation after generation after generation. And Prabhupada has been so extraordinary. So we can always remember him as our star. But at the same time, we have to be the servant of the servant of the servant. It's the same idea, no? You want to be the servant of the higher, then be the servant of the lowest. Be the servant of that person who just walks in the temple. Why are you here? How can I serve you? What do you need? Wonderful. And sometimes it's not so wonderful. Like I remember one couple of devotees who lived in Vamanapukur. No? Apparently very nice people, no? Beautiful woman, dance teacher, her children so beautiful. And then the father disappears, the family disappeared, and they don't pay money which they own, practically, from stars or most beloved to thieves, most despised. What a sad story, no? What's so sad? So sad, man. My heart is bleeding there. This is all the things we have to deal with. Sometimes it happens in our life. And who knows? One time, one person, he stole some money from the temple. A good amount, $3,000 or so. And he just took it. He had been a good collector before. Maybe he was feeling he was taking a commission or he was in need of the money. Anyway, he took it from the temple. The temple was poor. So we felt the loss. No, my God, not only we lost the devotee, plus we lost $3,000. Oh my God, no. But I loved this devotee so much. I was only crying about him. I wasn't crying about the $3,000. And many years passed. Then I met him again. And when I met him again, I still remembered the money he took. But I didn't say anything. I just hugged him and said, I'm so happy to see you again. That was true. Then a few years passed more. Then one day he came and said, oh, I want to give this card to the temple. You need a card. I will donate this. The card was much more value than what he had taken. Huh? I was crying. So when you manage in the material world, sometimes it's a failure, sometimes money problems, sometimes emotional problems, sometimes relation problems. So many problems are there. But if you have this principle of serving the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant, the lowest of the servants, and you just want to encourage them unconditionally. I mean, we are all thieves. Everything we have, we take from Krishna. Do we always give Krishna the credit? In a way, we could say. Where did you get the money from? Well, you see, everything belongs to Krishna, even if you get it through your parents or you get it through a job or however, everything belongs to Krishna. You can use it for Krishna, but as soon as you say, my ego, my property, my this, and you get a big ego enlargement, then it is all useless. It's all a failure. So serving the servant of the servant. If I want to show my love to Prabhupada, they are going to say, hey, Prabhupada, take me to you. He said, Prabhupada would say, what stupid thing you say. I am there with you through all these people, and you want me, you want to go with me. Huh? Why? To bother me? Or what? Or to be a lazy bum, getting morsels of food of my remnants, or what? I mean, anyway, we are living off the mercy of the Guru. Everything is his prasad, but he would say, Prabhupada would say, don't bother me. Hey, go there and serve the people. Go to Colombia, go to Bangladesh, go to... I feel like, I'm going to serve them. How are you going to do that? Well, cleaning Mayapur, cleaning Vrindavan, trying to work for Hindu consciousness. Prabhupada said we are not Hindus, but we have to create a good relationship with the Hindu society, to have some protection for the devotees also, to have a good status in society. Of course we are not Hindu, because some Hindu are Kali worshippers and they offer goats to Kali. I don't want to have anything to do with that. But he can say I'm a Hindu. As a matter of fact, they will let him go into the temple of Jagannath, whereas me, they will say, no, you can't because you're born in the West. So do I want to be that kind of Hindu? Huh? So sometimes the wordings we use, they're not perfect. The word Hindu itself is not perfect. It just refers to the people on the other side of the river Sindhu. Those who live there, they are the Hindu. That's where the word Hindu comes from. No? So, I mean, I love to serve the devotees, serving them, trying to encourage them. Sometimes you're not able, sometimes they go away, they're looking for something else. Sometimes they need something you just don't have. Then they want to go and try it if they can find that, what they're searching for somewhere else. I mean, this verse, to me, it touches me very much. No? Because it's Krishna who's saying, Ye me bhaktya jana bhakta na me bhakta chate jana. Ma bhaktanam cha ye bhaktas te me bhakta tamomata. Ye me bhakta jana parta dame bhakta chate jana mad bhaktanam cha ye bhaktas te me bhakta tamo mata. There's so much bhakta in this verse, it's so difficult to memorize, to not get confused with so much bhakta. I learned this verse many times, but then it always gets a little confused. She me bhaktas jana bhakta, na me bhaktas chate jana, mad bhaktanam chayi bhaktas, te me bhakta tamo mata. Such a beautiful verse, so melodic. You know? It's like a beautiful song. You know? Je me bhakta jana bhakta, na me bhakta tache chate jana, mad bhaktanam chayi bhaktas, te me bhakta tamo mata. It's a song, you know. I mean, this is what the Vedas are like. They're shlokas, they're songs of the heart. But this is the Supreme Personality of God. It's speaking. Krishna says in Adi Purana. So therefore, if any devotee is feeling unhappy about what I'm doing, then I'm very, very sad. I'm a failure. And I have to repent, and I have to do things right. Do things right, do things right. So I pray to Lord Krishna that he may allow me to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the devotees. And live an exemplary life. It's also not easy. To eat the proper things, to have enough exercise, to answer your letters, to give consolation to all those who need some consolation, to tolerate all the difficulties, especially when the famous tango comes. I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know how to get all the money I think I need. Gurudeva, help me, show me the way, where to get the money and what to do. And this is pressure. That type of pressure, you know, everybody sings that song sometimes, no? I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. This is the plight of my life. I was a Sankirtan devotee for many years. The only thing I did was going out. Hello, good morning. Please take this book. It is about something very important. Please read it. Be so kind. And how do I to sell those books? I tell you. We call this love bombing. Because I wasn't a good salesperson. So the only way I could convince somebody to buy one was like, be so kind and buy this book. We call this love bombing. You go, pew, 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 no? And then he goes, okay. Because for a person to pull out his purse and to give you some money, it's not so easy, because people only pull out the purse to buy some sense gratification. And now they're buying a book where they don't know what it's all about. Huh? So, but this is what I did for years. Distributing the books of Prabhupada to many people in many countries. And collecting good amounts of Lakshmi for the Krishna conscious movement. because I didn't keep a penny. Everything was for the Krishna conscious movement, for printing books, maintaining temples. I didn't really know, I didn't really care. Of course, I knew it was maintaining our temple, but like that. So then one day, I was on the street distributing books, and all of a sudden, in my mind appeared, how long are you going to do that? I thought, Prabhupada, I'm yours. I can do this as long as you want. If you want me to do this for the rest of my life, just go around and selling books about you. I mean, we believe that these books can save people, so we are not salespeople, because if I'm just a salesperson, I sell something more easy to sell than a book. People don't know what it's all about. I sell them something they want to have, and like that. So I said, Prabhupada, what do you want me to do? I'm ready. I can do that for the rest of my life. And then from inside of myself, a voice came. And that voice said, but who is going to look after those temples that they will actually function properly? I mean, I had been a temple commander. I knew what a good running temple means, cleaning and so, treasury. I had a little experience of all that, but it just came to me like that. I said, management. And only 5 days after this meditation, this experience, 5 days later, I got a call from the authority of Northern Europe that time, and he told me, in Denmark is a crisis. The temple president has left the devotees alone. Can you go there and help? They had no president. So before I knew it, 5 days later, I was in Denmark, was the temple president of a temple in a country where I didn't speak one word of the language. And I was like, what happened now? Sankirtan devotee, what happened? Of course, I kept doing Sankirtan there. Then we were like a group of 6, 7 devotees, and everything was, it was a good group. It was a nice, pleasant group. So we went ahead and we did our seva there. But then it was all of a sudden I didn't have time to only do Sankirtan. I had to do this, I had to do that. And I had to drive a car, so I had to make a driver's license, which I didn't have until then. So it was like, my God, how is these things, how they are working in this world. So the whole idea is that new plans show up. Sometimes new plans show up you never knew about. And some of these plans are very, very pioneer plans. It happened to me in Denmark. Then again, I was sent to Sweden. There was an emergency in that temple. So I went there. And that was more complicated because the previous temple president in Sweden, he was still there, but he had a disagreement with the higher up authority. So I was sent in to take over his job while he was still there. Of course, he wasn't very happy. So it was complicated. And another time it happened to me when I was sent to Brazil. There was that same example. The temple president had left. The temple had huge debts. There was nobody to look. And they looked at me, can you go and take care of it? And I was actually happy because to tell you the truth, to be a temple president is a very beautiful job. It's tough, but it's also very beautiful. Because you relate to so many people nicely, heart to heart. Hey, what do you want to do here? You want to help me with this temple? Wow, really? What, like our service in Vrindavan, for example, we don't have much to do for the temple because everything is done already. Ambika already made the most beautiful altar. We have the gardens have to be maintained. We don't go on and construct anything. So in Vrindavan we have to create services for ourselves. This school and prasad distribution and cleaning. We are inventing ourselves. It's an interesting situation there, no? That we, and we're looking for service. What else can we do in Vrindavan? Because we don't have ambitions. We don't want to buy more buildings. We don't want to recruit many Hindus. Why? They have enough Hindu gurus here. They don't need a guru from the outside. No. Plenty of gurus, and it's more logical to take initiation from somebody who you can speak the language. You know, when people want to take initiation from you from India and they don't speak good, they have another motivation. They think you give them a ticket to the West. It's not that they really think that you are their connection to Krishna. Of course, maybe there are exceptions to it, but basically like this. So we don't have any plan here, except in the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajyama, where we do seva, structural seva to the Vaishnava community for the sake. And of course, that's also for the backing up or the protection of the devotees in our countries. So all of this is part of the devotional service. Emi bhakta jana parta, temi mak bhakta tamu. Neme bhakta chati janas, mak bhaktanam. Tami bhakta. It's confusing. So many T's and Y's and bhaktas, you know. So going somewhere in emergency, temple president job is really, really far out. Because anybody who comes to the temple, you ask him, how do you want to help me? What is our work? How we can increase this temple? How we can increase the Vishnu Priyashram? How we increase the Yamuna Kunja? How we can increase the next festival which is coming up? So many things. Really, so many things. Questions? Any questions on this? I think it's like the essence of the philosophy. Because it brings you down to right there where you have to be the loving servant of all the others. Doesn't matter who they are. How are you? What you need today? You're my brother, you're my sister. You're here living in this temple. How do we serve Krishna here? And the temple president is so important because everybody has to have a relationship with him because he is the connection of the service. It's not that you go in a temple, everybody does what they like. It doesn't work like this. There has to be a coordinated project. It's a community. And sometimes they may need you in a service you don't like so much. And sometimes you may give new ideas for new services which you like very much. Any question? Temple presidents? Yes. Have you been a temple president?
No, just Sankirtan party leader.
Okay.
Usually, people who come to Krishna consciousness are lost, have so many problems in life. They're unbalanced. Like happy people usually don't come to Krishna consciousness. So, in the temple, in the community, usually we deal with devotees who are have many, sometimes mental problems, very unbalanced. So how can we, it's very difficult, how can we deal with that? Keeping this attitude like you're saying, but you know, it's...
Give medicine where medicine is required. Give seva. Seva is also medicine. It's all about medicine. Unbalanced. Yeah. What does that mean, unbalanced? I mean, somebody may actually be psychologically a disturbed and sick person. Well, even them we want to help. It's not, oh, you're taking psychopharmaca, so please get out of here. We have nothing to say to you. It's not fair. They're more needy than anybody else in a way, so, but it's tough. Just recently, one devotee asked that to me because we had a few psycho cases in one temple, and they were asking me how to manage that. But in one way or another, actually I still have to answer the letter to this devotee who wrote me the letter about how to deal with these psycho cases in the temple. And I think we have to deal with it with love, because if the psycho cases come to us, then Krishna sent them to test us. No, and who can come? Some people are psychologically disturbed, others they are, what do you call them? Transgender people also come to the temple. Everybody's looking for some shelter. You said the happy people don't become devotees. I don't know who are those happy people. I wish I know them and they help us if they're so happy. Of course, like I wasn't happy in the material world. I was devastated. So I don't know who are those happy people who don't want to surrender to Krishna. Yes, if they have too much money, and they probably don't want to surrender because they don't want to give anything of their money to others. And you cannot surrender to the Guru and keep all your money in the bank. Says, okay, Guru, they were here, I am yours, but don't look at my money. That doesn't work. So, in that, but happy, I don't think people are happy like that. Who's happy?
I mean, less miserable. Less who haven't suffered so much.
I think it's those who become devotees, they somehow that got grace. some mercy has come to them. And that is the main criteria why they can contemplate a change of lifestyle. Of course, we should not allow people to come in the temple to disturb others. Those who come simply and become a big disturbance, then they may be requested to settle outside. Hasn't worked very well. Usually they do disturb inside and then you can't get rid of them so easily. Also happens, but like for a devotee to ask another devotee, you're disturbing here, can you please move out? Unthinkable. Sometimes in emergency it may be like that. pretty much unthinkable. We don't want you to get more mercy, get out of the temple. Then he will ask you, what do you want me to get? No more mercy? Very complicated. But the principle is that nobody should be in the temple disturbing the community. That's there. And our plans here, same like in Vrindavan. We don't have anything to do here. This place is paradise. Vishnu Priya Ashram is another paradise. So what? Of course we can chant Hare Krishna and study books and attend the deity and preach to the friends when they come. We can do that, but my nature is always moving more things and get more involved with other things, like the degree of sectarianism which exists it doesn't stand, it doesn't look so good. So the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha now has gained some momentum. And you see, the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha has two sides. The real side of the physical world and the side of the internet world. In the internet world, the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha is represented by Veena mainly, Veena blog, and things like that. In that side, the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha is 100% established. Why? Because there's no other page in the internet which claims that they love and appreciate all the Vaishnavas and defend their interest. It's not that we are like 4 different organizations like battling over who dominates over the joint interests of the Vaishnavas. No. Simply there is no other. So for anybody who goes to the internet, looks Vaishnavas and all that stuff, he definitely comes to the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha pages and he would say, oh, this is who they are. And where's their office? Well, actually our office is in Gopinath Gaudiya, but we are not using it because we don't, first we had it for internet service to teach the people how, but now everybody has a cell phone, so that internet service is over. And just to exhibit some posters and like that, is not work. We don't have enough money to just put a person there for information center. It would be good. We should have one Bengali and English-speaking Bengali sitting there in the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha Information Center. If you can do it, Gopinath Gaudiya, give us the space. Because here we are hidden. This is a hidden position. There. No? But we have a reception office here. Not even a poster hangs there. Not even the welcome poster. It's no good. We have to have our entrance clean and more clear. You're welcome here, no? But we have this reception empty. We have that reception in Gopinath Gaudiya empty. Lack of manpower and lack of money, because if we put somebody there with a salary, information center, why not? Vishwa Vaishnava Rajsabha should have an information center. In Vrindavan, Yamuna Kunja is a little bit of it. And it says there's the office, so if people want to know, they can come in and ask. No? The other services, cleaning and restoration of temples and gardens, no, I just invented those services. Surya Kunda, I just invented it. I mean, invented, it was given to me by Krishna, but it's in a kind, it's my invention, my creation. And we spent money there. How many? 2 lakhs a year, a month. We are spending on services for the Dharma. And why not? Why not spend some money on the Dham? The Dham has given us everything. So it's not anything we have to be worried about. We could increase it if we get more money, but that's what it's all about. And then Durga Pujari. So, and this is like a temple president. He's a psychologist, he's a social worker, he's a paramedic, he's an electrician, he's a public relation manager, he is a legal manager. He has to be a good singer, he has to be a good lecturer, he has to be patient. My God, the temple president is a great job. I love it. I love it. To me, it's the best job in the world. I 1,000 times more eagerly be a temple president of a Krishna temple somewhere than to be the CEO of an enterprise, which maybe has many workers, all paid, and many products, all useless. No? And you're making sure you get the supply. No, thank you. Even though, as a temple president in Vrinda, you do not get paid. In ISKCON now, some Grihastha temple president, they get a pay. That's only because they have an Indian community support. And the Indian community is giving more money, they have more money. They don't have a temple president, so they ask a Grihastha, a devotee, can you do it? No. And then they have to pay him so that he can have his wife, his thing. No. But in Vrinda, in our temple presidents, they are not paid. I have not seen that. The temple presidents, they have to be like brahmacharis, sannyasis, or grihasthas in their free time. Like Gurudeva Tulananda, when he was a grihastha still, he was doing acharya traveling services, even while he also were looking after his family. So he could do that. Some people have the karma that can do such a thing. And Prabhupada, it all depends on the individual. Because married people who do not have children are also first-class temple president candidates, if they want to do it. It all depends if they want to do it. Because they can accept the whole temple like their kids. They are our children now. Any more questions? But one thing about the University of Ancient Wisdom, this is my brainchild. So input to that comes either from me, or from you, or from somebody of the others in South America who are working with it. Otherwise, you cannot expect input from the side of Chaitanya Saraswati Math. They are just having rooms and headaches. They don't have time for that. They just say, yeah, we like the idea. You're going to use some of our rooms for education. They say, we like it. But they're qualified people. But who is going to be a presential teacher. You have to look for that. Who can give astrology course? Who can give permaculture course? Like Gopinath Gaudiya has a big land in Rudradvip. One could make a permaculture course, but where people stay, who is the permaculture teacher? How much to charge for the course? Logistics, we call that. Everything, there's always a certain amount of logistics. And logistics have to be well done to charge people. No? And then the question of legality comes. How legal is it? Like Airbnb is easy because you're kind of out of the system. It's like nobody looks at it. Booking. But when you have groups here and they study, then you have to see in what kind of frame you're going to put it. No? That frame has not been created yet. Has to be thought about it carefully. Then it can be like because we can't use the word university in documents. That's only there in talking like that. We can call it the foundation, the institute, but probably we have to register such an institute here. The Institute for Ancient Wisdom, or the Foundation for Ancient Wisdom, and then have to have a bookkeeping for it, and then we can charge officially money. Or we just base it on Airbnb and have all the educational things without written documentations. But on the long run, this wouldn't look that good. On the long run, it needs some inscription. Like in Colombia, we have inscribed Foundation of Ancient Wisdom.